now. Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Nancy Cox. Thank you for joining us at 6. Months after a deadly hit and run in Lexington, police have released a portion of surveillance video that they say shows two people who were in that car.
It happened October 20th on North Limestone, and the driver and passengers still haven't been identified. Police hope someone will recognize the man and woman in the video and help bring this investigation to a close. Mike Valenti's live downtown in Lexington with the big story at 6.
Yeah, it was the early morning hours of that Saturday, October 20th, when police say a light-colored Kia Spectra struck and killed 47-year-old John Oliver, who at the time was standing next to his bicycle. Now, the segment of surveillance video released today does not show the moment of impact or even the car. But what you can see in that video are the two people police say were in the Kia Spectra, a man and woman. It shows them on the sidewalk, huddled close together, and then after about 20 seconds, they walk out of the frame. Police say they actually went over to Oliver and tried to render aid, but they never called 911, and they fled the scene as soon as an officer arrived.
It is not your typical leaving the scene of an accident, as in they appear to come back and even check on the victim as it happens. So we would certainly like to know what they were thinking at that time.
Again, if you have any information about this incident or you recognize the people in that video or even their mannerisms, you're asked to call the department's Collision Reconstruction Unit or Bluegrass Crime Stoppers. Those numbers are on our website, LEX18.com. Covering the news live in Lexington from the LEX18 Mobile Newsroom. Back to you.
Lots of questions tonight after police say a camera turned up in a public bathroom at a Garrett County funeral home. LEX18's Lee Searcy talked to investigators and the business owner's daughter. Last Thursday, police say a patron noticed a camera mounted in the men's restroom here at Spurlin Funeral Home. The person promptly reported it to police.
To my knowledge, it was only in the male restroom.
Those who've lived in Lancaster for years wonder why it was in the restroom, period.
I don't know why they would do that. I kind of would want to know why.
Good question. We went to the funeral home and tried reaching the owner by phone to ask the same question. The owner's daughter, Jessica Spurlin, was busy meeting with families, but told me by phone, quote, "My dad was trying to fix a problem and keep the community safe," end quote. She went on to say the camera was placed over a sink to try and record suspected drug use by an employee. She admits, though, that wasn't a good idea. Some who know the Spurlins stand by them.
They're a very nice family, and I'm very shocked, if this would be anything other than, what they say.
For now, police are handling the case like they would any other and point out of the 3 Spurlin funeral homes in the area, the Garrett County location is the only one involved.
We're going to look at all the evidence. This will be an ongoing investigation, so we may be contacting people if we can identify people that are found on the video.
Covering the news in Garrett County, Lee Searcy, LEX18 News. If you think you may have been recorded on camera, Garrett County Police want to talk to you. You can call them at 859-792-3023. The Boyle County teenager charged in the murder of her stepmother will face a jury in just a few weeks.
But right now, lawyers are arguing over what evidence should be allowed during Jenna Oakley's trial, including an alleged confession. LEX18's Carolina Buchek has more about what's happening.
He walked up behind me and leaned in, and I don't remember the exact words, but basically said, "I know who did this."
That's how police say Philip Oakley, Jenna's father, first led investigators to his daughter. At the time, Jenna Oakley was just 15 years old. She was missing when her stepmom Rhonda's body was found. Police later caught Jenna and her boyfriend in Rhonda's car in New Mexico. So police brought her home and spoke with her dad's approval.
Yes, I gave Mr. Owens permission to speak with Jenna.
The thing is, police say Jenna didn't want a lawyer at the time. So they say they interviewed her and she allegedly confessed. Her lawyers now want that recording thrown out of court because they say police violated Jenna's rights in order to get it. So the judge listened to that 47 minutes long recording today in private.
Its production in open court would be overly prejudicial at this time to the defendant, giving the tentative nature of that possible confession.
Tomorrow, Jenna's lawyers will continue questioning the case detective, and then The judge decides what will or won't be allowed in trial in just about 4 weeks. Covering the news in Boyle County, Carolina Buchak, LEX 18 News.
A man was sent to the hospital after he was shot in Lexington last night. The shooting happened around 6:30 on East 2nd Street near Eastern Avenue. We're told his injuries are not life-threatening, and so far, no arrests.
Something of a rarity. Our Max-Track Doppler radar has nothing on it right now. That will be changing. We'll show you that with the future track as we start you off at 7 o'clock this evening. Clouds more south. The sky's been trying to clear to the north. Had a little rain around the southern counties earlier today. Now, as we get you then to midnight, clouds across the south, again clear across the north. Watch the clouds move north. Oh, and here comes the rain. There's 8 o'clock. New computer runs in, and we're showing the rain pushing up toward I-64 at that point. We continue through the day tomorrow, and the rain becomes more widespread, a little steadier as we get you into the latter part of the day into the evening. We're looking at a good chunk of water coming our way once again, which is something we're getting awfully used to. Temperatures upper 30s to around 40 here at the 6 o'clock hour. We're not going to drop too much farther as we continue through the night. In fact, getting your day started tomorrow, the clouds will be around, temperatures mid-30s, a little bit above normal, mid-40s with the rain around at lunch, steadier rain at dinner time with temperatures in the 50s, which isn't bad. We're going to keep it warm, and we'll talk about the next chances for rain after that in a couple of minutes.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
Another Kentucky Democrat is planning to run for governor.
Michael Burke spoke with LEX 18 political analyst Bob Babbage on the new addition to what should be a strong race.
Another high-profile Kentuckian is running for governor, as former state auditor Adam Edlin says he's entering the race.
That gives you 3 candidates who are exceedingly well known among Democrats and the public.
Edlin joined Senate Minority Leader Rocky Adkins and Attorney General Andy Beshear in the Democratic primary race. Edlin actually once served as Steve Beshear's chief of staff when Andy's father was running the Commonwealth.
It makes for some intrigue, for sure. All 3 of these people know each other very well.
But more than that, they know our current governor well, and they know the Commonwealth's voters, know which issues will push the right buttons.
All these folks have things to remind you of in the positive to make a case for being your governor. And then those running against them might remind you of some other things that aren't so necessarily positive.
So then, of course, the question begs, what is Governor Bevin's best asset as he begins the campaign trail to keeping his office in Frankfort?
Incumbency matters a lot. And each of these candidates has an air of incumbency because they're well known.
Which means everyone might need to take cover for this gubernatorial race.
They'll come out firing.
Covering the news in Lexington, Michael Burke, LEX 18 News.
There are only 2 other governor's races in America in 2019, and Bob said that could put a lot of eyeballs on Kentucky and could make this race subject to special campaign funding.
We're used to the scrutiny after the midterms, that's for sure. Gas prices in the Commonwealth have been on the decline, and now a fill-up in Kentucky is among the cheapest in the nation. The price at the pump for a gallon of regular unleaded gasoline is as low as $1.73 in northern Kentucky, while in Lexington it sits around $1.84 a gallon, give or take a few cents. One driver we spoke with just moved back to the Bluegrass State last month, and he's experiencing sticker shock, but in a good way.
I just moved here from Miami, and down there the gas prices, I think they were like $4 at one point, so at Miami Beach anyway, so it's nice.
Of course, prices can vary greatly from one side of town to the other, so shop around. A good tool to use is gasbuddy.com to help you find the lowest prices where you live or work.
I think I'll do that tonight. Well, still ahead, a new show debuts tonight on NBC, testing the strength of its competitors.
And one of the people fighting for the win is a Kentucky man. A preview of the Titan Games is next on LEX 18 News at 6.